This book is different in that it's very much taking into account kind of how we live and eat now. You know, it's all well and good to say, you know, roast a chicken on a Tuesday night or whatever, but people, I don't think, have time to do that. I think as a chef and a cook, I get home from work, you know, and have the same time constraints and the same kind of like sometimes low energy levels as other people, and I want my dinner on the table in sort of 10, 20, 30 minutes. And I think as a chef, you kind of have tips and tricks and ways of speeding things up, which mean that you can cook really delicious food really quickly. And I think this book is trying to kind of explain that, trying to, you know, allow people to sort of choreograph their way around the kitchen in a way that's kind of still calm and gentle, but allows flavours to be layered quickly, whether that's using spices or herbs or lemon, you know, to cook something reasonably simple, but also super delicious. What I thought would be useful in this book is to actually put together a series of recipes that were really approachable, you know, on a sort of Wednesday, sort of Thursday night, rather than the kind of sort of big feasts that you have on a Saturday. And yeah, so the book's broken down into different chapters, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and then this chapter called Investment Cooking, which is all about the things that you might be able to do, you know, when you've got a spare hour that actually is going to mean that, you know, you've got some lovely things to rely on for the next week or month. I've kind of tested all the recipes out here at home a few times, but then also I kind of sent them out to all my family and friends, people who are non-cooks, and asked them to time themselves as well, because obviously, you know, when you're a chef, you kind of do have a different mindset and do things a bit quicker. A lot of the sweet things have been very popular, which isn't too much of a surprise. There's some really delicious kind of raw cookie dough bars, which are made with Brazil nuts and coconut sugar and coconut oil, which kind of, you know, sort of a healthy but still really delicious sweet treat, and they're kind of studded with dark chocolate, and those have gone down really, really well. There's another little like peanuts, it's actually almond butter, kind of little almond butter chocolate bars, which people also love. And then there's some of the savoury things. There's it's really quick pasta that almost everyone who's picked up the book has kind of cooked, and my mum, I think, now makes it about 3 times a week. I think my dad's quite bored of it. But it's basically you put the pasta, the tomatoes, the kale, some lemon zest, all in one pan and then boil it up together. So it's super easy and takes about 10 minutes. So people have really loved kind of cooking that one. There's loads of chefs that I look up to, and I think I've spent 7 years working for Jamie Oliver, so half of my brain is basically a back catalogue of Jamie Oliver recipes, so those kind of come out quite a lot just naturally, and I think the work that Jamie does is, you know, he's just an incredible man. But also I love Nigel Slater. I love how he writes. I just think he's, you know, he's kind of the poet of our time in terms of talking about food, and I love his recipes. They're so simple. Obviously lots of them have meat and stuff involved, but he still does kind of like really make vegetables sing as well. You know, I'm vegetarian. I made a decision to become vegetarian about 7 years ago, and it was actually a bit of an experiment. I just was feeling a little bit jaded with food. I wasn't feeling great in my body, and I just thought I would give up meat for 3 weeks and just see how it feels. And I kind of felt amazing. And actually that's the reason why I've kind of written these books, because I wanted to share the food that has made me kind of feel great and feel vibrant. And it's really amazing, you know, that over the last sort of 3 or 4 years there's been such a big shift and so much more kind of really lovely information and recipes out there on how to kind of put vegetables at the centre of your diet. And I think, you know, for a lot of people, they might not want to eat vegetarian food every night of the week, you know, and that's totally okay. You know, I think, you know, everyone is becoming more conscious of the fact that we need to really focus on, you know, the quality of the food that goes in our body. I think we're all conscious as well of the effect that food is having on the kind of world around us.